Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you may be listening. We welcome you back to another edition of the Vicar's Crossing, and we're continuing our adventure here at Synod 2019 at the Diocese of Huron. So this is part 2, Kevin. We've taken a quick break, but we still got lots more people coming in and out here, and we want to get part 2 underway.
Of course we do.
And of course, as always,
I mean, there's so much going on. We have a lot of hallelujah.
Always brought to you by our good friends at Crossings Pub and Eatery on Hyde Park Road in London and Aleppo Restaurant on Wonderland Road in London.
Yep, and many thanks to everybody who's come by so far, and let's see who we've got next.
We are back with the Vicar's Crossing here from the London Convention Centre.
The day March is on.
It is, at Synod 2019. Yeah. Once
178
again.
years.
Is that, do we get the number?
I think so. How long, have you been here 178 years, Elizabeth?
Oh, sure, yes.
Yeah, Elizabeth's been here for a while. Good, good. Well, yeah, so we got another guest on the
we
the
have
program,
another victim.
Kevin. Another victim.
Elizabeth King. I know Elizabeth from being here at Synod is where I first saw her, actually, in the role that she's in here now. But I get to see her around town. She hangs out at Prevo, at HMCS Prevo. She's there for Weepers on Friday afternoons.
Every Friday.
Every Friday, all right.
She comes and she celebrates churching on the Sifton Bog with us on the early Friday mornings.
Very good.
Well, happy hour on
Very
Friday.
good, yeah.
She has happy hour on the Bog and then happy hour back in on at Prevo. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
So how many years do you think you've been here, Elizabeth, at Synod doing this with St. John's?
Sorry?
How many years with St. John's have you been here at Synod? Because you've been doing this for a while.
I'd say more than 10.
More than 10? Yeah.
So long I can't remember.
Yeah.
And have you been with St. John Ambulance a long time?
I've been with St. John since 1979.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Here
so
in
that's
London.
the same
Good
year.
for you.
The same year that Trivial Pursuit was launched.
That's right.
Yeah, just as it happens.
And
Is
as
that
a
the same year
segue,
Keith was born?
yeah. As a segue, Elizabeth, what we've been doing is just having some fun, and we got the 40th anniversary edition of Trivial Pursuit there. And producer Iain has the cards, so we have this big wheel that we built. So we're going to have you just spin the wheel, and we'll get you a category and a question, okay? So spin the wheel there. Go ahead.
There goes the wheel. She did a good job spinning, eh? It's from all these years of lifting gurneys and stretchers and so on.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Elizabeth, you got the year is 2018, so we're going to give you a question. This is
Just
going to be
from
a
last
very
year.
recent question, okay? And are you, do you like the arts? Do you like movies and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah,
but
okay. Let's do
I don't
something
go very
from,
often, but yeah.
Let's do something from arts and entertainment there, Iain.
Yeah.
All right. What film about the making of the movie The Room was one of the nominees for Best Picture, Musical or Comedy at the Golden Globes?
Oh, jeez.
I haven't got a clue. I don't know.
Pick another question.
All right.
I don't know.
What was the answer, by the way?
The answer was The Disaster Artist.
Okay, we don't want.
okay.
Nobody knows
That's a
that.
disaster.
That's
I know that
obscure.
one,
Let's
yeah.
come up with something a little less obscure. What do you got on that card?
What do you feel about geography?
Oh, she's good with geography. I think.
Geography.
All right. No.
No?
All right. Let's try it. The film The Post, which was honored at the Golden Globes, was centered around which major U.S. newspaper?
U.S. what?
Newspaper.
I
newspaper.
don't go to the picture. I don't go to the pictures very often.
I'm going to say it was the Boston Globe.
The Boston Globe?
I think the Boston Globe.
The answer is the Washington Post.
Oh,
Sorry,
I got it
we
wrong.
could not get that
Wow,
one.
wow. Nobody got the question right.
Nobody.
But Elizabeth, it's always good to have St. John Ambulance here helping
Yes.
us out. Great that you're all here. Great that you can, I know you enjoy everything about the church. You're a member at St. James, Westminster, and you sing in the choir there, and you're involved in everything. So we're just glad to have you here. So thanks for joining.
All right, thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And we're back at Synod
Hits
Vicar's
keep coming.
Crossing. Kevin, Rob, and Iain, brought to you as always by our good friends at Crossings Pub and Eatery on Hyde Park Road and our good friends at Aleppo Restaurant,
666 Wonderland Road North. What an address.
London, Ontario.
Yep.
Good.
Iain, how are you feeling about today? You're at a school. You're here at Synod. You've not been to one of these.
I have no idea. I have very mixed emotions.
You have mixed emotions.
Have you toured around the convention center and seen all the setups and the things happening down the hallway here?
The convention center is like really nice. I've never actually been inside this building.
Okay.
So
It's a good
you know,
building.
it's nice. It's just
We have a guest.
that's
Who-
good.
who stopped by?
Who
Rob?
stopped by? Ladies and gentlemen, the esteemed Paul Rathbone.
And how well turned out he is, too.
Secretary Treasurer of the Diocese of Huron.
I
Paul,
just-
it's good to see you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I just want to say
Good
how
to be
well
here.
dressed he is. You can't
is. He
see him
looks
on
good.
this, but he's in a
Yeah.
really nice navy suit.
Yeah.
He's got his Order of Huron on. He's got a beautiful pocket what do you call that? A puff or a
Pocket square.
pocket square?
Square,
Very
yeah.
nice white.
If it was done up, it would be like a pocket.
If it
puff.
I
puffs, it's a
see.
puff.
If
and
it's a
and
puff,
its
it's a
tie,
puff.
I must say, the tie is particularly resplendent
Yeah.
with the blue and the red
Notice
dots.
that the red polka dots match the socks.
Oh, look,
good
he's
one.
got the matching
Oh, my
socks
goodness.
and the
He's
shiny
looking
brown
good,
shoes.
yeah.
Shiny brown
Man,
shoes.
oh man! If you're wondering where your money is going, you no longer need to wonder.
If you didn't know,
If you
you'd
didn't
think
already know,
it was
you-
Michael
That's right.
Bublé here.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Sing us something. Sing us something, Michael. Good. So how's Synod so far? You've been
Oh,
touring
it's-
around.
I tour around because I need to get up and move and be with the people.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's a man of the people, Canon
I'm a
Rathbone.
man of the people.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
a
a canon too.
I'm a talkative accountant, believe it or not.
No,
So
we've never known you to be talkative.
no. Oh,
No, usually very
'Cause
quiet.
accountants are usually pretty quiet. We like
Yeah.
to keep,
Yeah.
inside.
If you've ever been to a meeting where Paul gets to make a presentation, it's I don't know how would
Entertaining, to
how
say
would
the
you
least?
how would you describe it?
Entertaining.
Yeah.
No, Paul can take a budget presentation and have you smiling at the end.
Yeah.
Well,
and not know why you're smiling.
Right, and I try because I don't know why accounting is my gift, but I think I must have other gifts. But I like to have fun, and it can be a dry, dull
Yep.
topic for a lot of people. So I try and have fun with it because
Well,
I know everyone's bored.
The last one I heard you do, it was like you guys had a routine. Your straight guy was Stephen Adams,
oh yes,
and he was your straight man.
Okay.
And Stephen's he's a pretty good straight man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. And Paul was bringing the humor. It was a fun night.
if I recall that he wanted to control the agenda, and
He
I
did.
believe you were chairing the
I
meeting.
was, and he was like, "Nope, this is what I'm going to do." And I said, "No, you're not."
Well, if you want to see Paul's show on the road, come to some of our deanery council meetings when he's doing the budgets.
Deanery Council
and
near you.
you will not be disappointed. Okay, you want to play a little trivia with us, Paul?
Absolutely,
So
I love trivia.
We're celebrating the
Give us
40th anniversary of Trivial Pursuit. So
Oh,
we
really?
have questions that go from 1979 to 2019. So as you see here, we built this big spinning wheel. So we're going to have you spin the wheel.
Oh, there he goes, spinning the wheel.
Yeah, not
Look
too
at those
hard,
muscles.
you might
That's a
break it.
baseball
Are
guy.
you
He's
kind
a-
of like Vanna White, or
He is,
sort
yeah.
of. Yeah,
Sort of,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I got the legs.
Only
Look
not.
at the-
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah. Anyway. Oh, he
Oh,
got
there
looks
we
like he
go.
got a good
So,
year.
Paul-
What year did he get?
Paul, where were you in 1989?
Oh,
1989.
1989.
89. Okay, I was here in London.
Yeah.
I worked in London here for an advertising agency. It was 2 years before I started with the diocese.
Okay.
I worked in London for an ad firm.
Accounting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
director of finance for an advertising firm.
So you remember it well.
Kind of, yeah.
So this question shouldn't be too difficult. Where were you in
1989?
1989?
Were your boys? Said you had your boys yet in '89?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
No, that can't be right. '89 is.
How old
Oh,
are they
I'm
now?
sorry. I totally screwed it up. Being an accountant, I should know
Yeah,
that.
you should know the numbers.
89. That was the year my oldest was born. So
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was in Hamilton.
You were in
You were in
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
It was
in
2001. I started with the diocese.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were in Hamilton.
89 was the year my son was born.
Okay.
So already Paul's memory's fading.
He
So
was
we gotta-
thinking of 99.
let's get to this question quickly.
In '89.
Okay.
89.
So Paul,
do we
we're going to
got?
ask you a question in arts and literature.
Arts and literature.
Yeah, arts and literature from 89.
All
From
right.
1989. Here we go.
What teen sitcom debuted this year with the first episode centered around a dance contest at the Max hosted by Casey Kasem?
Casey.
Kasem.
Casey.
Yeah.
Ian's so young. He
He's
doesn't.
so
even-
young he doesn't know Casey
Kasem.
Kasem.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. This is,
Oh, what dance? What dance? That
No, it wasn't a dance show.
What teen sitcom
Teen
debuted?
sit- Sitcom.
Sitcom.
Debuted this year with the first episode centering around a dance contest at the Max hosted by Casey Kasem.
Oh, would that have been?
I don't know that one.
I think I know.
You think you know?
I think I know.
Teen
I can't think of the name
sitcom.
of the show, but I can think of some of the characters.
Tell us the characters.
One guy was named Screech,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
you're
now
onto
I
it.
know.
I think
Ding,
you're
ding,
onto
ding,
it.
ding,
Ding
ding,
ding
ding,
ding ding.
and there was a couple.
Were people saved on that show?
Saved by the Bell.
There it
Ding,
is.
ding, ding,
Correct
ding,
answer.
Ding, ding, ding. Saved by the Bell.
He got it right.
There he
folks.
goes. Good.
What do we got in the winner's bag
Congratulations,
for him, Rob?
Paul.
We
we
must
got
have
Can I have a
something.
pen?
But yeah, we have an all-expense-paid trip to the stationery store
Oh.
where you can get a better pen than the
man,
one we're
Ian,
giving away.
Thank you very much.
Because your job's very important.
That's
and,
right.
And you get extra 10 spreadsheets for your
Extra
time
10
as well.
spreadsheets.
I will
Right,
say
yeah.
before we let him go that, and I know that it goes without saying, but if you know Paul and you work for the church, then you know he's probably the hardest working guy we've got.
Yep.
He's always working for the betterment of the
I'm
church.
like the James Brown of Church House.
You are.
I'm the hardest.
He
I'm the
feels
hardest
good.
working. I'm the hardest working accountant.
He is too. And except he goes around shuffling, singing, "Living in London." Ow! Got to get a celebration.
All right,
Do,
Paul.
do, 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 do.
Run away, Paul. Run away.
Does Ian know who James Brown is?
Back at Synod here at the Convention Center. Are we okay, Ian?
Yeah.
Ian gave me the producer look.
Did he?
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm just talking into the microphone. But we're okay. We're okay. All right, good. And we're back with Janice from St. John in the Wilderness in Brights Grove.
Right.
Yes, a lovely little community in our diocese.
Gorgeous town.
Yeah, and Janice is a Synod rep here. And this is, how many years have you been here now?
7.
This is your 7th year.
So-
And
Yes.
Janice was just saying how she remembered her first Synod and how moving it was, especially, and even overwhelming a bit, right? Because you come in here and it's a pretty big deal going on. Yeah.
Actually, yes, because I was alone. My priest was on an educational thing,
Yeah.
and I was seated with you
Mhm.
and with Susan, Reverend.
Yeah, Reverend Sue Paulton.
Yeah.
Yep, Reverend Canon Sue Paulton.
Yep.
Yep.
Canon Sue, as we call her.
And you actually did mention that it was neat to sit at a table with someone who was attending their first synod, because I was just like,
Yeah. Well, now that you're a pro after 7 years, we just had the bishop's charge earlier today. Do you remember anything she said in there that kind of stuck with you, or she was talking about going out into the world and doing that sort of thing as we do as church? What kind of stuck out to you at all?
I hope I'm quoting the bishop, not someone else, 'cause
Yeah.
I've listened to, but that we're not the Messiah, we're the ministers.
Right.
We're not
the ones to save the world.
right.
Yeah. We're
And
the
I
ones.
thought,
Yeah.
okay, that's very helpful and encouraging for people. That's something I can take back to my parish and say, don't think that because the problem is so huge that we can't do anything.
Right.
Doing anything is doing something. Doing something is doing anything.
Exactly.
So,
And part of that was we're the workers.
Yeah.
Right, we're the workers in the field, right?
Yeah.
And then you've
Not
been doing
master
that in your
planners.
ministry at your parish, and here's a Synod rep. So, yeah, you can take that back and talk to your folks about what that looks like. That's important.
and I can talk to them about this.
Yeah, exactly, and have them tune into the Vicar's
That's right.
Crossing
Have them listen to
podcast,
tell everybody
which you
to
are
tune
now
us
on.
in.
So
Yes.
that's great, Janice. So what we've been doing is playing a little trivia. Should we do some trivia?
Yeah,
with
play one little
with
trivia.
Janice? Okay,
If you don't get it, we'll get it.
we'll
How
get
about
it.
that?
We'll guess.
All right.
In a minute. So I'm just going to pull the big
What's
wheel
your favorite
over here.
subject?
You ever play Trivial Pursuit?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to spin the big wheel here in a minute.
Figure
I just got to
skating.
pull it over here.
Okay,
I
so
put it away
sports
for
and leisure.
lunch.
And let's hope she gets
So
a
here
figure
we go.
skating
We'll
question.
spin the big wheel.
Here goes the big wheel.
Here it goes.
Let's see where it lands. This is what we call the wheel of misfortune, yeah? Oh.
And Janice, we've landed on the year 1993. 1993. So we're going to go back a little bit.
Do you know what you were doing in 1993, Janice?
Yes, I do.
What were you doing?
I had met my I'd met my husband a year previously.
Okay.
And so I married him the following
And-
year. So I was blissfully in
You
love.
were in love.
Blissful newlywed.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Janice was in
And he is
love.
no longer a Roman Catholic. He is Anglican.
Oh, there you go. Good.
Wow.
Janice
We brought him over to
brought
our
over
side?
to our side. Yeah,
All
good
right,
for
well,
you.
Sorry,
Good
Bishop
work.
Fabro. One for us. One for Bishop Linda. Down one for you.
We'll put that up on the board. We got to start
Let's
a
get
board
that up
here.
on the board.
That's right. Okay, Ian, do we have a question from 1993 at all, or are we?
I'm trying to find the card.
How are we doing there?
All right, let's see what we got. We got a question for Janice.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Let's see where we get.
From
1993, sports and leisure, figure skating preferred.
All right. Sure. What weekly live pro wrestling show
Oh, no,
premiered
you already asked
this
this
year?
one. No,
Did
no.
I?
Yeah, you did.
yeah, that's the one
Yeah,
we did.
yeah,
With
that's the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
we did
Come
that
on,
one.
Ian.
Okay.
We're falling down on the job over there.
Hey.
Grab another.
That was going
You can
good,
grab
though.
another category if you want to.
Do you
too.
watch wrestling?
My Ukrainian grandmother didn't have a TV, so she'd go
Okay.
2 doors down
Yeah.
to watch it wrestling
Wrestling?
Wrestling?
on her Ukrainian friend's TV.
Yeah.
And if you walked by and understood curse words in
Oh,
Ukrainian,
wow.
Oh, well, that's a whole other segment. We're gonna
That's
have
a
to
different
figure
show.
out.
That's, this week, Ukrainian swearing with Janice McAlpin.
Brought to you by Janice. That's right.
How we doing there,
How
producer
we
Ian?
doing, Ian?
I really wish these cards were organized.
Well, they were. What year do you have? Anything handy? We can
We can change. The wheel is not gospel. We can
No.
change the wheel.
pick a different year, Ian.
Just pick a wheel or pick a year.
1985.
Yeah, 1985 was a
Very
good
good
year.
I remember it well.
All right.
Sports. Sure. What NFL team recorded these lyrics to a rap video? Sorry, for a rap video. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
The Super Bowl Shuffle, 1985.
I do remember that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Then
Midwestern
take
city.
it away, Rob.
No, it's a Midwestern city.
Midwestern city, very windy city.
Windy City.
Chicago.
The Chicago-
Oh, wait a
Chicago.
minute. She got it
She
right.
said Chicago, Chicago Bears. Good
Chicago
for you.
Bears.
Congratulations, Janice. And as a grand prize winner, we're going to ensure that you are a Synod delegate next year for the 8th year in a row.
Yes, right. Yay!
And you'll be able to continue to come back to London and enjoy time with the Vicar's Crossing. How
You
about
have
that?
made my Synod
Fantastic.
experience. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Every single few minutes, there's somebody else coming by here wanting to be on the Vicar's Crossing.
We're a busy corner.
We are a busy corner.
Right next
and
to the bathroom. If you'd
right
like
next to
point
the
out.
bathroom.
That's
is,
why we're getting a lot of traffic.
We have two bathrooms
male
actually around
bathroom,
us. We have a
actually.
male
That's right.
bathroom and we have a female bathroom. We have bathrooms on both sides.
Yeah.
So if you hear the jet engines again, it's just those Dyson hair dryers, hand dryers. Sorry, they'll dry your hands.
Just ignore the background noise.
Ignore the background noise.
That's right.
But we're happy to have Chris Brouillard Coyle come and join us now, the Reverend Chris Brouillard Coyle.
From the wonderful parish of St. Paul's, Essex, and Trinity in Cottam, of which I'm somewhat familiar.
There's the jet engine, folks.
There it is. Did you hear that? That's 747 off to
There
Florida.
it is, and there's some woman blowing across
That's
the
right.
bathroom in there.
A wonderful parish I'm associated with because it is the first place that I was ministering after I got ordained. So love that place. Yeah, so it's good to have you here. How's Synod so far?
It's busy.
Busy.
I wear too many hats, I think, as
Okay.
you would well know.
Well, what we'll have you do is put the one on that you wear for a special event coming up with Justice Camp in the diocese. So tell us a bit about that. What's that all about, when it is?
Justice Camp's actually a program that's been running nationally since about 2006. They've had them about every 2 years, and this is the first time Huron is hosting Justice Camp. We're calling it Respect Justice Camp because our hope is that the groups and creation itself that we will be exploring as part of this one-week program will help bring the participants to a deeper respect for those groups and creation so that we have a desire to collaborate even more so with those groups and creation itself. And so Justice Camp is August 13th to 19th. It will be hosted at St. Clair College in Windsor, and it's a week-long program, as I said, with 7 immersions, 3-day experiences within the program that will target people living in poverty, First Nations, migrant workers, people with disabilities, creation, LGBTQ+, and I'm missing one. I always do
6
that.
out of 7 is pretty good.
That's not bad.
6 out of
No,
What do we do? We have a prize for her. That's 6 out of
That's
7.
right.
There should
I
be
think
something.
so. I think if we-
is it a trip or two.
If we did 6 out of 7 and a trivia question, she could win the whole schmozzle.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
She get a trip for 2 to Essex.
So how do we find out more? Is there a website or a place people can go to?
JusticeCamp.ca is our website. We also do a Facebook page that's Respect Justice Camp, and our Twitter handle is @CampRespect.
Okay, very good.
All right.
Good. Wish you well with that.
give
Now,
you a
before you
follow.
go, we're going to spin the big wheel.
Spin the
As
wheel.
you see, we've built this
Spin the
big
wheel,
wheel.
Chris.
We're going to have you reach up and spin. There it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
And we're going to get you a year from Trivial Pursuit.
Oh boy.
Okay, this is the 40th anniversary of Trivial Pursuit, as we've been reminding people. Oh, wow.
And the wheel of misfortune has landed on 1980.
Oh, 1980.
Where were you, Chris, in 1980?
I was in elementary school.
Ooh, all right.
Wow.
Do you remember your elementary school teacher?
Which one?
Well, 1980.
1980, yeah.
1980. I don't know. I want to say Mr. Reno, maybe?
Oh,
Could
was he
be,
good?
yeah.
Was he good?
He obviously made it.
well, you know,
remember him, he made an
he was
influence on
interesting.
your
He was
life.
interesting.
He was
Okay.
interesting.
We don't want
Leave
anything
it at
getting out
that.
about Mr. Reno.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll ask you a question. Do you like geography?
Not really.
Okay, well, we'll go with geography then.
All right,
Okay, Ian, give her a good geography question.
What Canadian Liberal Party leader who served as Prime Minister from 1968 to
is a bit of an easy
1979 was re-elected for a second term this year?
That's pretty easy.
Geography?
That's
Okay.
I don't think so, but it's a good question.
It's a good question.
Trudeau came back.
Who was elected in 1980? Yeah.
Pierre Trudeau would have been in this like that early, but I didn't know he came back.
I think you want to say Trudeau.
I want to say Trudeau. Okay, I'll say Trudeau.
Trudeau is correct.
There you go. You got it right. See?
So what's my
That's
prize?
fantastic. Yeah. So your prize is an all-expense-paid trip to Justice Camp. And we're going to take care of all the amenities for
There'll
you.
be
All
no
you have to do is
charge for
show
you.
up.
You're welcome
and
to
when
go
you get
free of
there,
charge.
if you want to run it, then you're more than
You're
welcome.
welcome to actually
So we're
run the
I
happy
think
to-
I'm already
and,
doing
We're
that.
happy to send you off to that. So we're glad we could have that
Those are the
prize
sort of
for you.
prizes we have around here, Chris. Don't
Well-
complain.
We're a high budget
Yes, I see
podcast,
that.
as you can tell. So have a
And
pen.
have a pen.
And yeah,
Oh,
please take
great,
a free
great.
pen.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks for coming.
Thanks for popping
Good
by.
luck with the
Thanks,
camp.
gentlemen.
Okay.
Take care.
And another victim has dropped by the table here at the Vicar's Crossing at Synod 2019.
Nice guy, too.
Mr. John Seislin from St. James Westminster Anglican Church. You're the second representative of your parish here today that has dropped by.
Is he related
Great.
to the
Yep.
other one who was
Yep.
here?
The other, what's that?
Is he related to the other victim that was here?
Not oh yes,
I
yes,
think he is.
yes, related by marriage.
By
right?
marriage.
That's right.
Yeah, let's stress
Please, let's
that.
be
By
yeah, right.
marriage.
And right off in the wings is another member of St. James Westminster, one of our faithful listeners, Chris Huseman.
Okay.
This guy
Hi,
listens
Chris.
to every podcast.
Oh, do ya?
So we
Good
got to
for
get
you,
him
Chris.
on in a minute here.
Chris has got the Golden State hat on.
Yeah, oh,
So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not cheering for the Raptors.
You're going to get murdered
you
around
better
here.
run, brother.
This is
could
not
be
a
violent
popular
place.
choice.
No,
He
not-
needs security.
That takes guts, brother. Yeah, that takes guts. So, John, another role that you hold outside of being a parishioner at St. James and being a dad and a lot of other things is with the diocese. Tell us a little bit about what you do there.
That's correct. I'm just finishing up my stint as the chair of the Administration and Finance Committee.
Okay.
So
That sounds very official.
yeah, and it was a great it was a 3-year term that I'm just finishing up. I really enjoyed it, but it's the challenge of we have a lot of buildings and budgeting for shrinking congregations and shrinking buildings is a difficult task.
Yep.
But we have done well. We had some good luck in terms of we'd overfunded our pension plan.
Okay.
And so because the investments had done really well, we were overfunded in the pension plan and we were forced to take a holiday from paying premiums.
Right.
And that had a massive impact
Now, this is the sort of riveting information we were hoping we were going to
on
get.
our deficit. So, but
I glazed over after you said we had a good year.
we had a really
Crunch
good
the
year.
numbers a bit here for us, John.
Yeah, so we have gone. We went from a deficit to a surplus, and now we have an actual accumulated surplus.
I've been living with
Very
a
good.
deficit my whole life.
That's right.
And I still have, I have a few surpluses, but I'm working on bringing those down.
Good. Well, that's a lot of important work that's done behind the scenes, and
That's right. It's the quiet work behind the
yeah,
scenes.
it's sometimes not a comfortable chair to sit in. So
no,
we
tough
appreciate,
decisions.
we appreciate you've been sitting in it for a few years. So
Yeah,
that's
okay.
great. Great, John.
Thanks.
Thanks. We're gonna play a little trivia before you go.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay?
no, we got to
So
test your intelligence.
We got to spin the big. This is called the Wheel of Misfortune.
The wheel of misfortune.
Wheel of
Give her a
misfortune.
spin, John. Oh, here it goes. Oh, wow. What year did he land on?
John, where were you in 1991?
Oh,
1991. Do you remember
Yeah.
that far back?
91.
You're just a little accountant, just starting out. 1991.
Yeah, I was. I was just finishing up my accounting diploma at Laurier, and I moved to London in '92
Okay.
to take a job at Deloitte & Touche. So yeah, that was just as
It
I was
just
transitioning.
The
to move to
beginning of
London.
what we now know as John Seidlin
Yeah.
began in 1991.
That's right. He was a,
Very good.
Yeah.
So
he
we're
was
going to
a
ask you
shadow
a
of
question
himself.
from 1991.
Okay.
And John's a big sports fan, so let's give him a sports question.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah.
What 17-year-old Yugoslavian won 3 of the 4 Grand Slams this year, catapulting her to top ranking?
Oh. Tennis.
Tennis. 17-year-old back in 1991.
What'd you say she was from where?
Navratilova?
Say it again?
Navratilova?
No, Monica
Monica
Seles.
Monica
Seles.
Seles, John. I'm sorry.
Dun.
I'm sorry.
Bum, 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 bum.
We
So I don't
couldn't
get the
give you our
prize?
grand prize.
What do we have for a
hoping
consolation
Well,
prize?
we wanted to fly him for a week to Bermuda after 3 years in the A&F chair.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, all we can do with that incorrect answer is a pen. So you
Pen-
can pick anyone you want.
And
Thank
for
you very
losing,
much.
Yep,
and
you-
for losing, we gladly took $30 from you to buy a Vickers
Well, yeah.
Crossing T-shirt.
It was money well spent, and I'll wear it proudly.
Thank
Good.
you
Thank
very
you.
much.
I think
We
that's a
have
great
more.
ministry.
Thanks, John.
Thanks a lot.
And Kevin, we've discovered the bravest man in Ontario here
Yep.
at Synod.
He is.
He
There's
is
a
the
guy
bravest
walking
man in Ontario right
around this
now.
building. And Rob, tell people what he has on his head.
My friends, he's wearing a Golden State Warrior hat. Has anyone thrown anything at you, Chris?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Well, the day's
Thank
young.
God, but
Yeah,
the
we'll
day
get
is
there.
still young.
Day ain't over yet.
Yeah, I can't believe. I mean, even I'm watching basketball right now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch basketball, I can't figure out what the heck is going on when I'm
Well,
watching
it's all
it.
this running that's confusing.
There's a lot of running,
Yeah.
which is for me like this amount of clergy meat doesn't run, so so that's the first thing, and then like they're dribble bang, and I don't know, like sometimes you can bang into people and it's a penalty, sometimes it's not. Or they call them fouls, I think.
They call them fouls.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, but it's very exciting.
Yes,
But
it
you,
is.
sir, have a problem.
Oh, how come?
Because you're walking around with that Golden State Warriors hat on your head, and I know enough to know that I'm supposed to be a Raptors fan right now.
I thought you were a Montreal fan, so why
I
would
am,
you
but
wanna
we don't
go
have
for
a
Toronto
basketball team in Montreal, man.
That's why I
And-
go for Golden State.
And not only that, you're wearing the peak on that like a
Yeah.
gangster.
Yeah.
Like it's all flat and everything.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Yeah.
The
so
bravest man in Ontario.
he's the bravest
We give you
man,
kudos
certainly
for
in
that.
London,
Good,
Ontario. I'll give him
good.
that.
Chris is from St. James, Westminster.
Well, which
another
seems
one
to
of
be
our
a popular
parishes
place.
there.
I think we're up
That's
to our
right.
third St. James Westminster
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's Synod so far, Chris?
It's really good. Great presentations.
Did you-
Not as good as last year, but this year's
Not as good as
coming
last year.
along.
Like
but
if you were rating it 1 to 10, last year was a what?
it'd be about an 8,
Okay, and this year?
about a 5.
About
Okay.
a 5. Ooh, wow. Well, you never know what's going to happen in the afternoon, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Like maybe somebody will just streak
that's
through the
true.
place or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That would
You
be
don't
good.
know what's going to Pay attention, Chris.
never know.
Something crazy could happen.
We're in
Yeah, I
downtown
hope
London.
so.
Anything can happen down here.
Yeah.
Good.
Some guy could come walking through with a Golden State Warriors hat on.
That's right. You never know. That's right. We could get accosted right here. People throwing stuff at us. All right, Chris, you're going to play a little trivia with us today.
Okay.
Okay,
This is
spin the
our,
wheel, Chris.
Yeah, our
Okay,
wheel of
spin.
misfortune. So Chris is going to spin that wheel.
Oh, yeah. You gave it a good spin. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, where did
And,
they land?
Chris, we've landed on the year 1999.
Ooh.
1999.
Oh, what were you doing in '99, Chris?
Where were you?
Graduating grade 8
Oh, okay.
Oh,
in
wow.
Chatham.
From
All right.
which school in Chatham?
McHugh.
McHugh School.
Chatham.
Okay. I
Were you in Chatham in 98?
No, I wasn't there then. But my wife grew up in Chatham. I'm going to have to find out
like
what
every
high
other
school
year
she
you were in
went to.
Chatham.
Oh, wow.
Did you know the Sutherland family in Chatham?
I think so.
Margie and Karen and
Yeah.
Don Sudsy. You
yes.
remember
What
them?
church did they go to? Do you
They
know?
went to the United Church.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
Well, listen-
converted them.
Margie, if you're listening, we found your long lost brother, Chris.
Chris is in downtown London.
Margie likes the Golden State Warriors too. No,
Okay.
shit.
So we'll give Chris a sports question because obviously he likes the
He
sports.
loves the sports. So let's get to it.
What Texas team won the first NHL Stanley Cup in its history when Brett Hull scored in the third overtime against the Buffalo Sabres?
That was the Dallas Stars.
Correct.
Very good, Chris. Congratulations.
Oh. Chris has got the question right. What do we have for Chris?
Well, Chris, congratulations. You've won an all-expense-paid trip to the Toronto Raptors Championship Parade, which is coming up next week. And we hope you enjoy that. So make sure you wear your cap when you're there.
yeah,
Oh,
wear
yes,
that
I
to the
will.
parade.
Perfect.
And a big shout out to Chris because Chris is one of our most faithful listeners.
Yes.
Always get a tweet or a message from Chris when we've uploaded a podcast. And he was the first one to get on and order a hoodie when we got those products ready. And so, Chris, thanks for the support that you
Oh,
give
you're
to the
welcome.
Vickers
Good. Thanks,
Crossing.
buddy. Yeah,
Make sure
thanks.
you like and share this thing so you can win a hoodie for yourself.
There
right.
you go.
Perfect. Good.
What do
Thanks
you
for
got?
coming by.
Thank you.
Well, the hits keep coming here at Synod as we continue to hang out here in the hallway located between the men's and the women's washrooms. So I think that's why we're getting so much traffic here. Rob, what do you
Oh,
think?
I think so. And Alan Livingstone's just
Oh,
walked by.
the one and only Alan
And,
Livingstone.
Yep. I hope everything.
Look at that.
everything
There he
came
is.
out okay for you there,
What a
Alan?
handsome man he is, too.
He is.
Especially when he licks his tongue out like that. He looks great.
He looks good.
Yeah,
we'll
he's-
talk
for
to
a
him
man
little
his
bit
age,
later.
he's doing pretty good. He's holding up all right. That's great. Well, we're really happy because one of my very own parishioners, Mary Joan Vallis, has decided to stop by and join us on the podcast.
Decided.
Welcome, Mary Joan.
Thank you, Kevin.
Mary Joan, you've been very busy. I know you're a part of the Synod Planning Committee.
Yes.
Which means you must have had a lot of work to do along with your colleagues to get ready for this. Can perhaps share with people what it's been like getting ready this last couple of days and what's involved with getting us all set for this? We all come here and enjoy ourselves, but we don't realize there's a lot to get done for this to happen.
We'll go back a couple of weeks because we had to get together and put all those little purple bags together with all the stuff that was in them. And then we started off at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon to register you sweet souls
Oh, wow.
that didn't show up.
Yep.
And you did too.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. And
Yeah.
then we started here at 7 o'clock this morning to be ready for registration again.
Wow.
And I went till noon hour to continue with registration.
Wow.
And now we're done.
Good. If you'd like to drop by any time with a list of those that never showed up, we'd be happy to read them here.
I
You could
could
read them
do
on a
that.
Vickers Crossing.
You know,
And
we're not,
I could do that.
Yeah, we're not anti-shame.
Because you
we
know
can
what
do
they
that.
did inside earlier is they read the name of seemingly everybody who did show up.
That's right.
As they had a couple of long lists. Chris Seinell was up there reading about everybody who's an observer, everybody who has privileges. I mean, I felt like I was watching a romper room. I see Kevin and Rob and Ian and, oh, it's Mary Joan. So, Mary Joan, what's your favorite part of Synod so far?
I don't know, because the time I get to this part, I'm so tired. I don't care.
Fair enough.
It's all right. I've enjoyed people getting up and talking about their faith. That's very, very interesting.
It is good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I think we should have some fun. Would you spin the wheel and play some trivia with us?
Oh, I'm bound to win.
Okay, all right.
I
Spin
wanna
the
win.
wheel. Spin the wheel. Here we go.
What is this wheel?
This is a wheel you're spinning.
Am I?
We had it built. Todd Townsend built it for us in his shed.
That's right. It's the Wheel of Misfortune.
Don't
It's the Wheel of Misfortune, it's called, and it was built by Todd. His son Seth helped with the painting.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, do you remember where you were in 1983?
1983.
Yes. Well, I was working at London Life Insurance Company, now known as then Great West, and then now Canada Life.
Now, I have to ask you, what part of the building were you working in at
I
London
worked in
Life?
a few, but at that point I was supervisor of mail and copy services.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because my dad worked there in
Did he?
83. Yeah. He was
Where did he work?
He worked on the main floor. When you walk in, the front door is on the left. And he had a big office by the window, and I don't know what he did.
Oh, because we were on.
He was in human resource management.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that sort
who?
of thing. Bob Henderson.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, remember Bob?
Excuse me. Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
That was my dad.
That's
Yeah,
your dad. And I
that was
worked
my
on.
dad.
You came
See?
in that front door. You turned to your right, and that's where. our
And
mail
there's
room
where
was.
you were. And I probably wandered to the right
I
a few
feel
times.
like I'm on an episode
See?
of The Waltons.
Small world. Small world. Good.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
You're welcome,
Someone's.
folks. No applause, just throw money. We're trying
Waltons,
to we're
man.
trying to fund this thing, folks.
So what year were we? Were in the
83.
83.
1983.
Yeah, when my dad was working. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
So
what's the question?
let's
Rob
ask
was
a
in
question
Chatham.
in arts and entertainment.
Arts and entertainment.
Don't
All
do-
right. Which color is that again? Pink?
That'd be pink.
Pink.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
Who?
What Battlefield company holds the record for the most watched finale of a TV series with 105 million viewers?
Probably Dallas, was it?
No, now just hold on
Hold
a
on.
second. You said it was called again a Battlefield?
Battlefield comedy. What
Battlefield
Battlefield
comedy.
comedy?
Oh, MASH.
MASH
is
very
correct.
good.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I went.
Good for you.
What do we have for Mary Joan in the winner's bag?
We have for Mary Joan a picture of my father
Oh, wonderful!
that I've got in a suitcase somewhere, and
All
there's
right.
a picture of him at his desk, actually.
Now,
And
is
I
it
never
a
knew
five-
what he did, so I'm grateful that you were here to explain it all.
We doing
So
a
that
5
was
by
good.
7 or an 8 by 10?
8 by 10.
Oh, 8 by
Oh,
10.
my
Congratulations,
goodness.
Mary
All
Joan.
right, congratulations.
Put it on a
So
nightstand.
enjoy that.
I'll put it on a nightstand. I
Thanks
will.
for joining us.
You're ever so welcome.
Back at the London Convention Center at Huron's Diocese Synod 2019, next to the washrooms.
Right between men's and women's,
That's
and square between 2 Dyson hand dryers.
And we've got another victim on the podcast. Reverend Wendy Menzel is here,
Yes,
Kevin, from
indeed she
Arva.
is. All the way
who-
from north.
10 years ago, when I left London, Arva was a little corner outside of the city.
And now
all of
it's a
sudden,
growing bedroom community
now
of London.
Arva is in it is in the city now, it feels like.
No, it's not in the city. We are our own area.
a tax
we
haven
will
for
not be sucked into London
There- you're
for
not-
the next 25
Because it's
years.
being sucked out to you then, because it's
Todd.
going that way.
Well,
Rob,
they're
it's a-
trying.
Yeah.
It's a tax haven for London's rich.
Oh, I see.
They go there so they don't have to pay as much
The,
property
the
tax.
former
And they-
London mayor does live in Arva.
Yeah, they live
Oh,
in their
really?
they live in
Okay.
their mighty
Okay.
mansions up there so they can save a little.
Good.
So
I've known Wendy for a long time.
have you? Sad to hear that.
Yep,
Sorry for you.
Wendy was the first one to purchase for me a leather-bound prayer book.
Oh,
Do-
I
have
thought
you
were
had a
gonna
whole
say
bunch
pants.
given to you
That's
since
what I was
then?
gonna say.
No.
Why was Wendy buying you leather
Yeah,
pants?
no,
I
she-
thought you were going to say pants.
Well, she saw something special in me as a
That
young
she did.
priest.
I said
keep
to
hearing about
myself,
your sexy voice. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to get divorced in life. I'm going to buy him a leather-bound BAS. Oh,
Good.
wait, and then the divorce happened.
And then it happened.
And then the vacuum went in my purse and sucked out all my money. I'm
Oh,
sorry. We're
ouch.
talking about
Ouch.
Synod.
Oh,
we're
wow,
talking
okay.
about
But we're
Synod.
back at Synod.
what's the highlight of Synod so far?
Well, first of all, it's so great that we can do. We have a companion diocese from Amazonia. I love the sermon last night.
Yep.
I just think it's wonderful that we're able to partner with people, and I just love. I love learning about all the different ministries. You really get your eyes opened
to just how many different ministries we have going on in the diocese.
Yeah.
When you're sitting up in RV, you just don't know that.
And we were talking to a lady that was here earlier saying she'd been here for a few years, but that first time walking in here and seeing the diocese in its entirety,
Yeah.
it's a little overwhelming.
It is
You don't
overwhelming.
realize,
It
because
is
you are in your
overwhelming.
kind of little corner, right?
Yeah.
And
I've also, we were talking about the mission and ministry plan at our table, and we had a really fruitful discussion.
Good.
It was excellent. Really, yeah,
Good to hear.
excellent.
all right. Well, we're
Should
playing
we
a
have
little
some
trivia.
fun with Wendy?
What's that?
Can we have some fun with Wendy?
We can have some fun with Wendy.
Okay.
Wendy,
yeah,
would
for
you like to
sure.
have some fun with us?
It depends on what kind of fun, but sure.
Will there be no leather-bound Bibles involved?
Can you
Let me put it
keep
to you
up,
that way.
boys? Can you keep up?
We
There'll be
can.
no leather-bound
What we're going to
Bibles.
have you do is spin the big wheel here that Todd Townsend built in his garage the other night. There you go.
Yeah,
Good,
young
good.
Seth
Give it a
Townsend
spin
painted
there.
up all those colors on there. It
This is
looks really
the
nice.
Wheel of Misfortune.
This is the Wheel of Misfortune.
And we're going to be asking you a
Oh,
trivia
wow, a
question
trivia
from
question?
the year 1990. Do you remember where you were in 1990?
What were you doing in
Wendy?
1990?
I was selling drugs.
Oh,
Wow.
those were
And welcome to the podcast,
those were the
folks.
leather
Things
days.
just got a little.
I
no
was
wonder she
selling
gave you a
drugs
leather-bound Bible.
in my two-piece suit. Probably
Which
every
two
drug
pieces?
that was ever recalled. Oh, I'm sorry, pharmaceutical drugs.
Oh, pharmaceutical
you were a
drugs.
pharmaceutical rep.
There
Good.
you go.
Thanks for clearing that up. Ian was shaking his head a little bit.
Ian got a little excited over there.
How does that happen?
All
I
right.
don't
Okay,
know.
so in 1990, we also understand you worked a little bit as a play-by-play announcer for a hockey team. So we're
Yes,
going to
you
ask you a question about
This will be
sports.
good. This will be
Sports
good.
Yeah,
question.
we'll ask
Okay.
Amy a sports question.
She likes sports bally things.
What 42-1 underdog knocked out Mike Tyson in the 10th round to become the new champ
Ooh,
in one
I
of
know
the
this.
most shocking upsets in sports history?
Was the guy Canadian?
No.
No, he was.
Oh, you know what?
British.
I know the answer, but I don't know the name.
No.
British. Riddick
another,
Bowe.
another guy. Who
Was
was,
it Riddick Bowe?
I think it was Riddick Bowe.
It was Buster Douglas.
Buster
Douglas.
Douglas. Of course
right.
it was.
Let's try another one
course,
for
now
Wendy.
Of course it
remember.
was
It's all
Buster
coming back.
Douglas.
Let's give Wendy another one. Let's do
I was
a-
living in Vancouver then in 1990, so therefore
So,
that wasn't like really big on my agenda.
so how about entertainment? Let's give her an entertainment.
yeah, I'm
question.
give her
now
an
that's
entertainment
there
from-
you go.
from
All
the
right, let's
same
be a
year.
little kinder to Wendy, okay?
From 1990 still?
Sure.
Yeah,
From
sure.
1990.
Come on,
if
can't
you
we
got
go back
one
to
on the ready?
87, my golden year?
No, your golden
No,
years.
we want
not-
the drug years, Wayne.
I believe you're reaching your golden years now, actually.
Which romantic comedy stars Richard Gere? Yeah, that's his
Richard Gere.
Gere.
Sure, Richard Gere as a shrewd businessman who falls for a down-on-her-luck
Oh,
Vivian,
come
played by
on.
Julian Roberts.
You got this.
Come on, Pretty Woman.
Yes.
Oh.
Very good. Wendy's a winner.
Wow, she's got it.
Congratulations.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right,
Yeah,
fantastic.
I'm just trying
Here's
to get
a
a sound
trivia
effect
question
going.
for
Here we
you.
go.
Oh.
And well, you've won a prize for your
I do?
for your answering
Wow.
the trivia question quickly.
What do we have for
You
her?
got an Alleluia, and I'd like to present you with this 12-year-old leather-bound book of alternative services. So barely used. I've really enjoyed it, but I'm done with it, and I figure you might want
Just
it back.
white out
so,
the name.
yeah,
Right.
Perhaps
that's right.
we could also
Speaking of white
give
out.
to her a what? Maybe a one-way trip to Arva?
One-way trip to Arva. One way, he says.
Stop.
All right, you two,
Stop.
back off. We're going to get into it.
Can I be serious for a second?
Be serious.
I'll try.
Sure, Kevin.
I
What's
just want
on your mind?
I want to say one of the most moving things that I've seen since I come to London, in terms of sacrifice and what people are willing to do, was not long after I got here and getting to know Wendy, she gave her kidney to her son.
Stepson.
And has become quite an advocate for organ donation.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wondered if you wanted to share a word about that experience and about why this is important.
Well, first of all, I think no one has to really be a living donor. We could certainly solve the donation problem if everyone would just go to beadonor.ca and sign up to donate their organs if they die. And there's all these criteria that people have to fit. So obviously, Kevin, you wouldn't.
I probably wouldn't be
you
good for
probably
much.
wouldn't because of your age.
Yes.
You and I are in the same
Yeah,
age bracket.
I'm not much good to anybody anymore.
But, you know, if you're under the age of 50, there's no reason.
Excuse me, I'm under the age of 50.
I thought you were 50.
No, I'm not. My wife is turning 50, though, I will say, but
Are you
I'm not.
49?
No, I'm not.
You're 45.
No, I'm not.
You're younger than. Okay, now you're
No,
just
I'm
full
48.
of baloney. You're 48.
I just
okay.
turned 48.
So then you can donate if you wanted to be a living
Okay,
donor.
well, I could be dead before I'm 50. You're right. So this
But
may work
anyways,
out.
I would encourage everyone to sign up at beadonor.ca because there are people literally dying every single day that need organs. And you're not going to take them to heaven anyways, so why not give them to someone here? By giving a kidney and watching my stepson, who became a criminal lawyer who actually defends those who are on the margins in Toronto. So people that have no family, no support structure, he's their guy, and he's good.
Yeah.
And so I always feel that a little bit of me gets to help someone in downtown
That's
Toronto.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, there you
so.
go. Good
Well, it was
for
really
you.
an
Good for
incredible
you.
sacrifice.
It's a great story, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a sacrificial lamb in so many ways.
Well, yeah. And if I can say, she's incredible with a jar of pickles.
Oh, that's what I hear.
With my what?
That's a whole
With
other
a jar of
podcast.
pickles. I hear you're good with a jar of pickles.
Kevin, not only am I good with a jar of pickles, but I won a bronze at the World Marmalade Awards.
Bronze at the World
In
what? The World what now?
World Marmalade Awards.
Wow.
In the first timers category.
Oh, sorry. The World.
That's 3,500 people that send their jars of marmalade
The-
to England.
The World Marmalade Awards.
In England at a castle.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the royal family always
Is there
goes
whiskey
to it.
in your marmalade?
There is whiskey in some of my marmalade, yes.
Okay, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lady Marmalade.
Lady Marmalade.
Thanks for coming by. The Vicar's
Thank you
Crossing.
so much. It was wonderful. Thank
Okay.
you.
Always good. Here we are between the men's and the women's bathrooms here at London Convention Center in the hallway where there's a great deal of commotion. You can probably hear in the background the excitement around here is just intense. But this has been a great day so far. And we're happy to have a new guest with us, or a victim, however you look at it. Terry Ellison's here from the wonderful town of Lucan.
That's
Trinity,
right.
Holy Trinity Lucan Batman.
Holy
Absolutely.
Trinity.
Gateway
Welcome.
to Arva.
The
That's
gateway
right.
to
Yeah.
Arva.
Well, we were in Arva. Now we've moved on to Lucan.
That's right, we're up to
heading
Lucan.
up north.
Gateway to Burr.
All right. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
brr.
right. Burr.
Brr. So how's Synod?
Synod is wonderful.
Yeah, tell us your favorite bit.
My favorite bit so far has been standing here on the Vicar's Cross.
Oh, well. Oh,
You get-
special
because-
prize.
Yeah. Special prize: 2 pens.
2 pens for Terry.
2 pens for Terry.
Okay, so you heard the bishop's charge.
Yes.
Out of all that, what sort of leapt out at you? What needs some work coming out of that?
I think it's working on that sense of mission to actually look beyond the 4 walls of our churches and see what is needed in the world around, where God's hands and feet are needed.
Nice.
And to run with that.
Yeah.
Because it can't come all down to just one person or a small group of people.
Right.
We are all called to be disciples and all called to do the work of Christ in the
Beyond the
world.
clergy, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
course.
Absolutely.
What kind of things happening in Lucan at Holy Trinity that you're doing to reach out in your community?
Well, we had a really exciting project at Christmas time. We partnered with Marymount Children's Center.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, this is a service that helps families in crisis, and they often end up with children there over the Christmas that have nothing. That Santa's not going to come, and it's a very difficult
Santa's
time
not
for
coming?
them. So we were able to send 2 van loads of Christmas gifts and other things to Marymount so that these kids could have a Christmas to remember rather than remembering it for being in a crisis center.
Good.
So that
Fantastic.
was very exciting, very uplifting.
Good for you.
Wonderful.
Well, that's great. Good news. So we're going to play a little trivia today.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So we're
Let's
going
see,
to
you gonna spin the wheel, Terry?
big, wheel of misfortune.
Give the
Okay.
wheel of misfortune a spin.
Here she goes.
Ooh,
We're going to get
where's she
a
gonna
year
land?
for your trivia question.
By the way, I want a big shout out again to Todd Townsend and his son Seth for building this beautiful wheel of misfortune. A
did
great
a-
painting
you did a
job by
great job.
Seth. And
Let's-
just a beautiful wheel here. People
Ian,
are really
can
impressed.
we get a question from the year 2000?
Yes, we
Where were
sure
you in the
can.
year 2000 when the millennial flipped
yeah, yeah.
and we started the
Y2K.
the Y2K?
So where was I on December 31st,
Yeah.
1999?
now what were you doing
Yeah.
in 2000?
when everything was going to disappear and
Yeah,
shut
what were you
down?
doing?
Remember that?
I worked at Zeller's at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and they had all kinds of contingency plans for an eruption that never happened.
Oh, well, that was the whole world. Everybody was
Right.
waiting
Yeah.
for something that never really happened.
Nothing
What
happened.
happens to the blue light special at
Yeah,
midnight?
yeah, I know.
Because you lose that and it's all over.
Yeah,
Right?
nothing happened.
So
Jerry,
we're
we
gonna
got to
give you-
clean
we're
up in
gonna
aisle
give you
4.
Give you a trivia question from the year 2000 with Ian, producer Ian. Pick a category, Ian.
Let's go geography.
Geography. All right.
Let's go geography. The island scenes in Castaway, starring Tom Hanks and Wilson, were filmed on an island in what South Pacific country / archipelago?
Archipelago.
Archipelago?
Yeah.
Ooh, that
question.
I don't know.
It's a great question.
Wilson.
That part I know. I've never seen the movie.
Made fire.
That's a tough one. Dee, 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 dee,
I
dee.
don't know.
What is it?
Just take
What
a
is it,
guess.
Ian?
Hawaii, but it's not a country,
No.
it's a state.
Fiji.
Archipelago.
Fiji is the correct answer.
Fiji. Oh,
Okay.
very good. Congratulations,
right.
Kevin. She did get it right with a little help from Kevy. Good
What do we
job.
have for her?
Well, we have for you a. I have nothing. Actually,
have nothing for me.
I'm looking at the table. I'm thinking.
He's got none.
There's nothing
We got
here
nothing.
after all that work to give you, other than that second pen. I'm sorry,
All right,
Terry. We've just
Terry,
completely
That's
run out
okay.
of
Thanks for
prizes.
joining us today.
And
Thanks for playing,
where's Peter? We're gonna get
Peter's
Peter?
coming on next.
Oh, okay. Come on,
All right.
Peter.
so I can take 2 pens.
Take as
You can
many
take
as you
2
like.
pens.
actually.
Oh yes.
You can take 3 if you're feeling
You can
crazy.
take 3 if you want. That's good.
I ain't that crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy enough right there.
Take them to the table.
Now we got Peter over here. That's found his way to the Vickers Crossing table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Peter, please come up to the microphone. State your name and your parish.
My name is Peter. I attend St. Aidan's Parish in London, Ontario.
I know St. Aidan's.
Do you know
Do you
that?
know that place, Kevin?
I do, yeah. Yeah, hang
familiar
out
with
there
that?
Then you
from
would
time
know
to time.
Peter.
I heard actually on last Sunday they had a really good preacher.
They did. What I couldn't link up was his. There was no reference to Newfoundland in it. I know
Nothing.
it's in there. I couldn't get that out of it.
You see, I wasn't at St. Aidan's last Sunday, so they had a really good sermon. In fact, I heard that the guy they had was practically a genius.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. He also did
Kevin's
a very good job.
confidence has been wounded ever since I told him. I can tell.
But he did a very good job of building the wheel that we've been spinning as well, which is pretty
Yes,
cool.
I had a lot to play, a big part to play in this wheel.
Yeah. Well, didn't you buy the
Quite proud
bearings?
of it.
You got the bearings for Todd to build this thing, didn't
I
you?
did. Yeah.
Synod, Peter.
Yeah, Synod.
You've been here. You heard the bishop's charge. You've been in for most of the presentations. Coming out of all of that, your thoughts about where we're at as a church, what challenges us now? What are the things that you've heard that sort of encourage you, and what are the things that perhaps discourage you a bit and make you think, we got to do better?
I like the marks of mission. Yeah. I like the theme of this synod. I think she's done a good job with that.
Yeah.
I wonder how it sits with everybody. We had a breakout session to discuss our strategic plans, 5-year plans.
Yes, the mission and ministry plan.
The mission
yeah.
and ministry. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
You get interesting conversations around that. We don't all hear the same thing when we're told something. We don't all hear it the same way.
Sure.
And
Sure.
so working through that is going to be a challenge.
Yeah. Just need to note here, folks, that the people from A. Miller, George are packing up. I don't know if it's something we've said here on the podcast, but to find people who look after, make sure they celebrate each and every life.
Yeah. Are they on a quota system?
I don't know, but they're leaving.
Maybe
it's like
they
they're packing
fit
up
the
their
quota.
stuff and they're getting out of here. But they've been good people to us, I got to say. We enjoyed having them as neighbors.
They have endured.
I'm a little disappointed that they're leaving, actually.
So, Peter, before you head out and head back into to hear what else is going on in Synod, we're going to have you spin the big wheel of misfortune.
Spin that wheel that you
All
gave the
right.
bearings to Todd to build.
All right.
There we go.
So there we go.
And once again, Seth Townsend, great job on painting this thing. Looks beautiful. Ooh, what year did he get?
All right, we've got. Would you remember where you were, Peter, in 1993?
Ooh,
1993.
93.
Yes. I finished high school in 93.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, you passed.
That's
that
a personal
is
question,
interesting.
Rob.
I don't.
That's a pretty personal question.
I shouldn't say that.
I have
next to a
government
funeral home,
documentation that says that I have left high school successfully.
Okay, very good, very good. They let you out. Good. So,
funny.
so being a high school graduate, you won't have any problem with
That's
this.
not what he said. I
not what
just
I
want
said,
to know
but
that's
that's
not
okay.
what he
You
said.
got
but
out.
that's okay.
You got out. Yeah.
I got out of it.
All right.
So let's ask him. What's the green one there, Ian?
A science
science.
question.
Science. Let's
Science.
do science. Yeah,
Science
he's
is good for this guy.
He's a good science.
What, quote, science guy, end quote, who sported a blue lab coat and bow tie on his PBS Kids show helped design the sundial on the Mars rover?
That got to be Ed Nye, the science guy.
Ed Nye?
Ed Nye? Bill Nye?
Bill
Nye?
Very good. Congratulations.
Bill Nye
I
is
wasn't allowed to
correct.
watch
Is he right?
television.
Yeah, Bill Nye is correct.
What do we got for him?
Congratulations, Peter.
What do we got for him?
You've won an opportunity to go back to your high school, walk the halls, and
Thank you very much.
and have some remembrance of those fine
Ed
days that you got
Nye
out.
was a Pembroke instructor
Yeah,
and a famous Ontario
that's right.
bagpipe player.
Easy to get confused.
Yeah.
And where did you go? Saunders?
Saunders.
Saunders. Well,
Oh, you went to Saunders.
Well,
Okay.
Rob was just saying you just want a free trip back there
Yep.
to wander to halls and
That sounds wonderful.
just for nostalgia.
Yep.
You know?
Maybe have a beaver burger.
Oh,
there you go.
Is it, they sell
Is that-
beaver burgers up there?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
You remember the cafeteria ladies of everything
do.
from high school?
The Beaverettes.
Yeah,
Ooh,
there you
beaver-
go. Good.
Really? I'm loving this.
It's a new one. Thanks
do,
for stopping
do,
by.
do.
That's
Very
great. Yeah. And the Vicar's Crossing continues here at the London Convention Centre.
We've
And we
done.
thought earlier we had found the sharpest dressed man at Synod in Paul Rathbone.
No, I think this guy's outdone him.
No, we've now surpassed that.
Yeah.
The Reverend Matt Martin's joining us, and
Well,
brother,
thank
you
you.
look good.
Thank you very
Man,
much.
you
I
look
wish
feel
we
good.
were live today.
You are
because-
smoking hot, and
my
you've been
goodness.
singing all day.
Yeah.
I've been singing all day. Yeah, singing
And you
for
got
Jesus.
Mark. You got Mark, as I call him, Mark with a Q. You got Mark Charlton, or Mark
Yes.
Charlton, Mark Smith. It's
Yes.
been a long day playing with you, and I'm sure that if Mark has seen you walk in that suit at least once today, he's told you how good you look.
He has, yes. He had that conversation with me, and I have to admit, I'm flattered.
Well,
I really am.
I'm going to tell you, Mark knows.
He knows. I was going to say he knows, and you do look good.
Oh,
my friend.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you
good.
look. You're a
All
beautiful
right.
man.
I'm turning red. You
You're
can't
a
see
beautiful-
that, obviously.
Matt
You
Martin,
can't see
breaking
that.
hearts since
He's
1996.
he's a beautiful man. A beautiful man. The shoes and the nice blue. I don't know what do you call that blue.
That's called cobalt.
Cobalt
Oh, is it
blue.
cobalt?
That's
I
what
had a
Paul
Crayola
Rathbone
crayon.
told me.
Yeah,
That's
I had a
a-
Crayola
Cobalt.
crayon. that
Did you?
was
Yeah,
cobalt,
yeah. That Paul Rathbone said that's called cobalt
Oh,
blue.
well, Paul's another one. He's the second best dressed man in this place.
So he told me, and he said that's a popular color. I didn't know it was popular. I happened to like it, and I picked up the suit. So
how's the singing? Like, what's it like for you to be up at the front of Synod,
it's
leading the
it's
singing?
You know, it's a little nerve-wracking because I have to read the lyrics from the teleprompter. And that kind of freaks me out a bit because you never know what's going to come up or pop up, and I don't know these songs well
Oh,
enough.
It's too bad I can't be in charge of putting the. It's too bad I can't be in charge of putting the words
Put
out.
the
there.
lyrics up.
That's
That's
what he's
right.
expecting.
Jesus
What a
is-
friend we have in Jesus. I come up with like, wasn't that a party?
Or you get a
Could have been
pop-up-
the whiskey.
Pop-up Cialis ad or something.
Well,
then what do you do?
we're
Right?
lucky
That's-
we have a bishop who's a musician because
Oh,
she played because Mark had to go away to rehearsal.
Okay.
So we did "You Are the Salt of the Earth."
I heard
and
that,
she
yeah.
she stepped in and just played the music. It was
multi-talented.
fantastic.
Multi-talented.
It was
go.
fantastic.
You guys got a road show now.
Oh yeah,
There
we
you go.
do.
There you go. And how's Synod been otherwise? Other
Oh, it's
than
been
having-
fantastic. Like I you can't overuse the word fantastic when you're talking about Synod. You really can't.
That's good.
Use it one more time.
It's fantastic.
There we go.
Fantastic time.
You know what? When I think of how good it is,
Mm.
it's like I see it in colors, and for me, the color of Synod is cobalt.
Cobalt.
It is
Yeah,
cobalt.
We have a new official color. That's
It's a
right.
beautiful cobalt color.
And people know Matt from a variety of different reasons, but one of the things we do want to point out, we're going to get serious for a minute.
Yes, yeah.
Is not only is he a very talented musician and singer, he uses those gifts and has really helped out a lot of
parishes.
agencies and parishes over the last little while, doing your Elvis thing
Doing
and
a
singing
little
and that
Elvis.
sort of thing. And
Yeah.
I know that's close to your heart, right? Because
It
it's
is
something you wanted to.
It's something I want to do, and it's I've been able to sing at different parishes. I've seen a good chunk of the diocese, and we've been able to do some good fundraising, and I've enjoyed it immensely. Just recently, though, I've taken a step back from it because it's been a little too much. You know,
Yeah.
word starts to get out that you're doing these things, and then you get a lot of requests.
Every
and
priest
then you
wants
can't
you to
keep
bail
up.
them out.
You
Yeah.
can't. You can't.
Let's just say I'm one of the ones who's used them, so I can say
That's right.
I can say it. We just want you to bail us out.
Wow.
No, but we appreciate everything you've done.
Yeah,
And
well,
you've,
thank you.
You've done some wonderful ministry, both, of course, as a parish priest, but also as the king. Here, reach over here and spin the wheel of misfortune.
What wheel is it?
Right, this one, this
is
big
the
one right in
wheel
front
of
of you.
Oh, okay. Oh, this thing. Sorry, I didn't
Todd
see
Townsend built it.
it. I didn't see the wheel.
Once again, thanks to Todd Townsend for building this wheel.
That's a
right.
beautiful
And to his
wheel,
son
Todd.
Seth for
I
the
didn't
great
know he
paint
was
job
such
on
a
it.
talented woodworker.
Don't you? Isn't it beautiful, this wheel?
Or is that sheet metal?
And the bearings came from Peter. Peter from St. Aidan's gave the
ball
bearings.
bearings.
So, but a great job
ball
to Todd and
bearings
Seth
came
for
from
building the
whom?
wheel.
Do you remember, Matt, where you were in 1999?
Where I was or
Yeah.
who I was?
Or where you were? If we can
I
add
bet
in who
you
were.
didn't. I bet you one thing you'd never heard. In
I don't
19
remember 1999. I was still drinking.
There was.
Ian, give Matt a question from 1999.
Oh,
that he
here
can't
we go.
remember.
Let's hear it.
About?
My favorite year.
Oh,
by the way.
let's go. Let's go with that pink one.
Let's give him the pink
1999.
one.
All right.
Prince.
In what supernatural thriller?
What is Prince?
No.
No.
Or who? Sorry, go ahead.
In what supernatural thriller did young Cole Sayre, S-E-A-R,
Young
Colt Sayre.
Cole Sayre, confess to child psychologist Dr. Malcolm Crowe, I see dead people?
I know that one.
You know that
I
one?
know. Yes, it's The Sixth Sense.
That is correct.
Congratulations,
Sense.
Matt.
Yes.
Very
He
good.
got it right.
He got
Yeah.
that one right.
Thank you.
And the
And
gallery.
the gallery is
impressed.
very excited over here that he got it right. You're a good man, buddy.
You're a good man.
And that
Thank
cobalt suit. I mean, honestly, if Mark
Yeah.
Mark Smith hasn't told you 1,000 times how good you look today,
Wow.
everybody else should tell you. That, my friend, is you have outdone Paul Rathbone.
Well, that's a real honor for me.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is.
A
Well,
real
it's been
honor.
fantastic having you.
It's been fantastic.
It's been fantastic being here. And once again, a shout out to Todd for that wheel.
That wheel is incredible.
that's one-
and by the way, if I could say, Todd is number 3. It's in order of impressive suits and
Yes.
and fancy fashionable stuff.
Sure.
It's cobalt. It's cobalt matte, and then what do we got?
Square handkerchief.
Yeah, handkerchief,
handkerchief.
Rathbone.
Yeah, those are coming back.
And then we
eh?
got Two-Tone Townsend over
He's
here.
been wearing them
Two-Tone
long enough
Townsend,
that they're coming
Two-Tone
back.
Townsend, but the many colors of the wheel, impressive.
Many colors.
We got the bearings from Peter at St. Aidan's, and Todd. The construction on this is incredible. I had no idea he did woodwork.
Hey,
It's
up all
beautiful.
night.
Yeah.
Put something together good for
Now,
us. All right.
is that? Can I go now?
Yes,
that?
now you're done.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks,
I
Matt.
enjoyed it.
Hey,
Thanks
listen,
for having me.
thanks for the singing, buddy. I look
Yeah.
forward to the next thing.
Yeah, all
You're
right,
going to be
me too.
fantastic. Wow, what an incredible day we've had here at the Vickers Crossing.
I'd say it was fantastic.
I would say it was fantastic. We've had so many guests on, I can't even count. We've been so well located here between the male and female bathrooms at the London Convention Center. We've heard the Dyson hand dryers with incredible velocity and just great volume. We've met some incredible people.
We have.
We've had a good time today. We should go on the road more often.
We
sort
should.
of like this.
I want to do this once more.
So yeah, we had a lot of fun with everybody today. So many thanks for everyone for coming on.
If you dropped by today, we appreciate it. We thank you. And until we're back together again at Crossings Pub and Eatery on Hyde Park Road, one of our great sponsors. And we also want to say thank you to Aleppo Restaurant on Wonderland Road in London, one of our sponsors as well. We'll chat again down the road. We hope you enjoyed part 1 and part 2 of our podcast from the Diocese of Huron Synod 2019 from the London Convention Center. And remember, Kevin, to always look both ways
Before you cross the street.
Thank you for listening. Our hosts are Kevin George and Rob Henderson. Our producer and composer is myself, Ian, with original artwork done by Catherine Olenek. If you have any questions or want to know where to find us, tweet us at Vickers Crossing or find us on Facebook at The Vickers Crossing. If you have any other questions about anything heard on this podcast, leave us a comment or look in the description to find out more. Thanks!